Okay, great. So my name is Ben Holloway with Mountain West Financial. I'm a branch manager here. Mountain West is a community lender that started here in Southern California in 1990, and we specialize in helping people become homeowners and also help them with the refinance if they need it.
My name is Shelby Scheffler, and I am the marketing coordinator here at Mountain West Financial. Started about 3 years ago here.
My name is Veronica Espinoza. I'm a loan processor, and I've been with Mountain West 1 year.
My name is Donna Dungy. I am the Senior Business Development for Mountain West Financial.
One of our first questions to them is what are they looking for and what do they need in our services? So some consumers come to us because they want to buy a house, some want to refinance, some have money to put down, some don't have money to put down. So our first goal is to listen to them to find out what they want. And once we believe that we understand what they're looking for, then we kind of review their situation and come back to them with some solutions.
No, we pride ourselves on customer service. We want to make sure that everybody is serviced and treated well throughout their experience in regards to a new purchase or refinance. In college, I was pretty much counseled by my coaches there in regards to the staff, and because I was involved in several groups and they thought that I would be good in the field of psychology because people would, naturally open up and, communicate with me. And it's just, they said, oh, you really should go into psychology. And I like that. I like the idea. I'm always curious about pretty much everything of how things work. And so I decided to do that. And it was great, yeah. Not only working with my team, but generally the public, because everyone has a different personality. And what I do is use some of the skills and the trainings that I have to be able to relate to people a little bit faster, a little better, try to understand their demeanor. And, if they're a fast-paced person, then I know generally what type of person they are. If they're, really lax or, have a hard time with eye contact or what have you. I read a lot of nonverbal signs. So it helps in everyday life, communicating, helping the borrower, understanding what their needs are. So I use it every day. It comes in handy. I started off as a counselor, working with adolescents, male and females, for about five and a half years. I became an emancipation supervisor at Leroy's Boys Home for their transitioning to adulthood. And then I started wanted to work with adults. So I worked with manic depressants, bipolar, schizophrenia. Started off as a counselor, became a supervisor, then program director, vocational director. Managing the team of therapists that we had, making sure that the clients, we call them clients, that they were, getting the benefits of the program. Meeting with the social workers, the psychiatrists, along with their families, group sessions, just making sure the program was running smoothly and effectively. Most of the people, obviously came from various parts, either the prison system or mental hospitals, severe mental hospitals, and, we were transitioning back into society. When I had my son, when he was like 1.5, I decided that my attention needed to be on him instead of all these people per se. So I went into business. I was told that, you're probably good in real estate, you're probably good as an attorney. So, I decided to go into business. So that's what I did. I went into corporate. I wanted piano lessons for my son. So I blasted out my resumes, and a mortgage company got my resume. They wanted to hire me as a loan officer. And I knew nothing about that animal, and it was on commission. And that, to me, at that time, was unheard of. My offer letters were offer letters, and, to get me in the door, it's like, okay, we're going to talk money here, talk business. And so I said I would come in and head up the inside sales. They had 5 offices, so I did applications for the loan officers. And at that time, the market was great. It was a great time. So I was apping about 48 apps a day, really, just constantly calling, talking to consumers, customers, and getting their interest in, refinancing or a new purchase. And once I found out, really the background of loan officers, then I decided I wanted to be trained in that. So once I did, I became an originator, then a junior LO, then an LO supervisor, I managed the telemarketing departments and then became a branch manager.
Mine was a bit different. I actually started working for Mountain West through my ROP program in high school. So one of my last periods of my high school was at Mountain West. So that's where I started, was as a senior, working in through that. So I've been with Mountain West for almost 20 years now, and it's the only company I've ever worked for in the mortgage space. There was a period of about 2 or 3 years where I went out and did the construction and worked at a couple of distribution centers and did some different things, more on a labor intensive, and then came back just as I was turning 21, and I've been here ever since. Different parts of the process we work really close together, and then different parts of the process we're not involved at all. So Shelby and Veronica's paths almost never cross as far as the transactions go, but Shelby's and Donna's paths a lot. So Shelby helps with a lot of the marketing to acquire the business. Donna then cultivates that business when it comes in, and then once we have a loan that we're actually processing and working on, we turn it over to Veronica, and she's a specialist that gets that file ready for an underwriter to review, and then turns that over and we close it after that. So we all work together where neither one of us can do it without each other, but it's very segmented where each one of us does our own specialty and it moves on to the next place as it moves down.
Right. And we communicate constantly,
Mm-hmm.
every day, via voicemail or phone or email. We're in communication pretty much on everything. So, as Ben said, we really do work together as a team. I do want to give an honorable mention to Jordan Navarro. She's not here right now, but she's at MLO, and she's an integral part of the team. She's my partner. So as I develop business and what have you, and I app loans, she actually processes and develops and informs the clients just of the integral part of the loan. I help her case the loan with the client throughout to closure. Veronica and Ben oversees everything. If there's a fire that needs to put out, or we have an issue or a question or just support, Ben is always right there, and no matter what time, we're communicating with each other. So
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talk at nights,
At
weekends,
nights,
during the day.
mornings,
Yeah,
you
our
know.
customers are our main source of business is referrals. So if we don't do a good job for them, we may not have the job to do afterwards. So whether we need to talk at night, on the weekend, Donna actually called me about 9:45 last
Right.
night. We spoke last Saturday or Sunday for 2 or 3 hours. I mean, we talk a lot to make sure our files are moving and our customers are happy, because in our industry, we effectively have to recreate our income source every month. Once we close a loan for a borrower, that loan is gone and done. They don't come back to us next month for another one. They might talk to us 3 to 5 years down the road. So our main source of production for us is doing a good job and getting referral from those closed loans that we have.
Right.
Well, like Donna mentioned, she'll go out. Jordan is a big part of the team. So Jordan, she'll refer the client. Jordan is part of the whole transaction, explains everything to the client. Once everything is established as far as pre-qualification, then the loan comes to me, or the pre-qualification comes to me. I package it up. In the meantime, you've got other things going, other files going, your emails going, voicemails. Every loan officer at Mountain West is great to work with. In my year here, it's been a very great experience. So as far as multitasking, you get used to it.
I actually come across this a lot where Donna will want certain marketing stuff presented a certain way, and then it'll come to me and I'll put out a proof initially, and then I'll have all these changes come back, and then sometimes these changes I'm struggling to do it, but I figure it out and send it back, and we collaborate and work together, and it all comes out good in the end.
Yeah, we've had Shelby create a document, print it out on our color printer, and then we gave that to another staff, another branch, who then drove it halfway, met Donna in the middle, and
Right.
Donna met them at a gas station
Yes.
to grab that information from them so that each could go back on their own way to get it done that day. So there's a huge team effort, whatever it takes to make it happen, we all put the energy in to do it.
Even last minute things,
Mhm.
like within seconds of closing at times, so.
Yeah.
It's all just
Yeah,
about team effort and working together.
Shelby does all the flyers. She works closely with the realtors. that we work closely with in regards to our down payment assistance programs. And, you know, sometimes Ben is maybe in Marietta or Palm Springs or what have you. Shelby's generally at the corporate office in Redlands. I'm here obviously in Corona. So between all those marks, we get things done. We could be on the road, talking on the phone, emailing, pulling over. It all gets done. It's a lot to do, but at the end of the day, we're all very respectful of each other and we get it done.
Yeah, so one of the things that Jordan Navarro does for us is she's a licensed loan originator, so she's gone and done a federal background check, passed certain licensing requirements, taking tests, and she's really the one that gets very involved with the consumers when they come to us for home loans. So Jordan's job is to take an application from them, find out where they work, how much they make, what kind of obligations they have, what area they're looking to buy a home in, and then with all that information put together, Jordan then packages and looks at the various different types of loan programs we have and comes back to that consumer with 1 to 6 or 7 different loan options and says, based upon what you've told me, how much money you make, what your outstanding obligations are, the price of a home that you feel comfortable making a payment on, these are the 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 loan programs that you have available to you. And then she'll describe those to the consumer and deliver all the pros of those programs, the cons of those programs, and then helps the consumer make a choice on which loan option they want to go with. It's kind of like looking for a house. You find about 80%, 90% of what you want, and it's that other 20 to 10% can you deal with. And with loans, it's that same way. Of all the pros and cons of those loans, which one out of the 89% of those items are you happy with it, will be good for you and your family when you're making those payments for the next 15 to 30 years.
It's a lot, and it's
Yeah.
it's exciting though. Like I said, you know what Jordan does, and I'm so, you know, well, she's here in spirit, put it that way. But you know, she is really good. Everyone here is really good at what they do. I particularly, as business development, I love going to events, meeting people, and of course that's how I met you, California Focus Magazine, which has been great. I am corporate trained in regards to closing. I am totally comfortable in regards to meeting with CFOs, CEOs, heads of companies, and you know, working with the general population. So I like to represent Mountain West Financial in a best aspect that I could, in which I believe I do. And it's just exciting to develop business and watch it grow.
A couple programs we have. One of the big ones is a service that we have called Down Payment Resource. And it's a website that a consumer can go to and enter how much they make, what area they want to buy, answer some things about their family, like how many people live in their home and things like that. And then Down Payment Resources program we use will then bring back a list of down payment assistance programs that a consumer qualifies for. So not everyone in California has 10 or 20% to put down on a house. And so Down Payment Resources, the program we use to help identify what down payment assistance programs are available so that someone can be a homeowner with as little as, you know, in some cases $3,000 out of their pocket.
And the particular monies that are assisting the homeowners, they never have to pay it back. So it's a huge perk. It allows people to become homeowners when they think, oh, I don't have 40,000, I don't have 30,000, I don't have 20,000, you know, at some point. And this makes it possible, you know, for them to become homeowners. So it's a great program. And it's there for people to use. Okay, so in regards to other programs that we do help, one of my main focus as business development is assisting our teachers, our police departments, our fire departments with assistance in regards to their home ownership and refinance. So we have CalPath, which is there, and that's one of my niches. In addition to that, some of our flyers that Shelby was so masterfully created on veterans. We want to be able to assist veterans with their VA loans and assist them just with the knowledge that they may not have in regards to becoming homeowners as well, them and their families. As an example, Pete Aguilar, the congressman, he is hosting a Veterans Resource Fair that's coming up this month on the 18th, in which we will be vendors. We will be participating in that. That will give us the opportunity to speak with them, educate them. Hopefully they have some of their family members there, so we can educate them as well and service them. Hopefully we can cross a bridge there. One thing that I'm really keen at, my father was military, he's Navy man, and just the gratitude for all the servicemen and women that are out there is just important to me, like with the teachers, police departments, and fire departments, that we are able to support them. And Mountain West Financial can give back from what they've given to us, just to be able to sit down and have this meeting. So that's extremely important to Mountain West Financial, definitely to me and the team here. And in part of that, honoring the active duty military, there will be a masquerade ball that's coming up in November 3rd, which is a Friday, and that's going to be held at the Ontario Doubletree Hotel. It is going to be a great event. The military, whether Air Force, Navy, Army, what have you, they're going to be in full uniform, and just that is a sight to see. It just makes you really feel patriotic and safe. Safe. And it's going to be a masquerade ball. It's a black tie affair, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, so Mountain West for the last 2 years in a row has won a Top Workplace Award here in the Inland Empire. One of the things and the reasons why we get that is they take a poll of all the employees that work at companies that are our size, and they compare that to other companies in the Inland Empire that are in the same group as us. And based off the employee responses and the participation from that, they find and label each company, as a Top Workplace Award based upon the feedback from their employees. So our employees are the ones who have nominated us as that top workplace in the Inland Empire.
Wow.
So the employees had to go through, fill out a survey, and then from those survey results, all those results were compared with other employers in Southern California that are similar size to us, and then they do a rating system based on that. So Mountain West right now is just under 500 employees. We have the top 100 mortgage companies. So in the United States, we're ranked right about 60 to 70th as far as size of other mortgage companies in the United States comparatively. So we're ranked as one of the top 100 mortgage companies in the United States.
We have over 40 branches throughout the United States. Our corporate offices are located in Redlands. And of course we have our Corona branch here, which is my favorite. And we have the Marietta branch as well as Palm Springs.
In Redlands,
And Redlands that been overseas. So we're a pretty large company.
Every year we put together a large amount of people to create revenue for the Cancer Walk. One of the ways that we do that is the employees will have a bake sale at our corporate office in Redlands. People go through there and they buy from that. We have people that do donations. They can reach out to their family and friends, and they raise money by they walk a football field in one of the local high schools, and so for each lap you take, you get people to sign up. I'll pay you $1 per lap or $3 per lap, things like that.
Relay for Life?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And so in that event, we've been one of their largest sponsors slash fundraising slash participating companies for over 5 years now. It's probably even longer than that. But we do that every year where we make sure we have someone who walk 24 hours a day at the Relay for Life based out of Rutland.
Well, I'm new to Mountain West Financial, not new to the industry, but so far my experience has been great. I love what I do. And Veronica has actually made it over a year, or about a year, right? So she's not a newbie anymore, but I thought it would be great if Veronica, since she has just 1 year experience, Ben has 20 years experience, and Shelby? 3 years experience. So, just thought she might want to say a little blurb.
I was a loan processor. I've been a loan processor for 18 years. Started off as a loan officer assistant and didn't know anything. When they said it was a fixed interest rate, I wondered why it was broken in the first place. I didn't know terms. There's a lot of that I didn't know, and I've learned a lot through the years. Being with Mountain West is an experience because everybody's very team driven. It really is a team. You have a question, you have access to who you're gonna ask, a department, the underwriters are great. The loan officers, really to point out, Jordan is awesome. She's probably one of the best loan officers I've had the pleasure to work with. And Ben, awesome. Donna's been real treat. It's just the short time that I've met her or that I've known her. Yeah, it's great experience. I'm glad to be part of this family.
What do you think, being with Mountain West for a year now, stands out to you, the difference of a company from us to others you might have worked for in the past?
Really, the experience I had in the past was more broker side. So it was you were really kind of on your own. You dealt with a lot of different companies as a broker. You had to pick and choose your favorite people. Being with Mountain West is everybody's a team. Everybody's on the same side. And everybody's really there to help you. You're not just a number.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of getting used to, but it's been a great year, and I hope for many more.
So as soon as I graduated high school, I went to college, but during high school, I took college and regular high school classes. So by the time I graduated, I had my AA. So then when I went out to college, it was a lot easier to get my BA, and I went into graphic design, got my bachelor's in graphic design, and my first job right after graduating college was Mountain West. The only reason why I knew about Mountain West is because my sister worked for Mountain West years ago, back at the corporate office, and my sister-in-law also worked for Mountain West. So I've known about Mountain West for a long time and knew how family-oriented they were, and coming in here, I knew it was going to be a great experience, and I knew I was going to learn and grow as with the company. So that was my selling point for coming on to Mountain West.
I do want to mention, though, that we do work closely with various other, entities that help accomplish our job, which are the various escrow companies, title companies, realtors. Chamber of Commerce has been great. The Corona Chamber of Commerce, Tigar has been great. So those are just a couple of additives in regards to what we do. Right, Ben?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Great. I have had the awesome pleasure. I went to an event at the Mission Inn in regards to networking for Mountain West Financial, and I had the pleasure of meeting Christina Garcia and Rebecca as well of California Focus magazine. I ended up sitting at their table. We ended up having a great conversation, and just, I immediately liked the company and what they represented. So California Focus magazine, our gratitude.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.